Maybe you're interested in homeschooling. Maybe you've already registered for homeschooling. Well, if this is you, then this is your lucky day, because I am going to tell you the secret to engaging adolescents in learning. And I'm not talking about YouTube or worksheets or computer programs. Now, I've been a homeschool mum and I've taught my teenagers at home, and I'm also a high school science teacher, so I understand the school system. And I've seen students in the classroom that are just not thriving. Students that need a quiet environment to learn, or students that just take a little bit longer to learn things. And when they're in a classroom environment, they just disappear. And sometimes I can even see them and they just sort of like, I want to be invisible, and it just breaks my heart to see those kind of kids in the classroom. And I've wrestled with this for many years, and I've tried to change this system from the inside, but it wasn't until lockdown and I started teaching online that these kind of kids were suddenly, asking questions and engaging in their learning. And other teachers agree with me that there are some students that actually got better results in their online learning during lockdown than in the classroom. So this made me start to think about how I could engage these kind of learners in online classrooms at home. So I've left the school system, I left my job, and I've started a business teaching science to middle school students, the year 7 and year 8 area, where they're either going to get engaged in learning or they're just going to disengage from learning. See, what happens when students reach high school is that the frontal lobe develops and they start to be able to engage in abstract thinking. Now, this is a shift from concrete thinking, which is just learning facts and information, to abstract thinking, where students are able to analyze and they're able to problem solve and they're able to see the patterns and relationships between ideas. And it's about creativity, it's about critical thinking, it's about pulling things apart and putting them back together again. So this shift to abstract thinking is natural, and this is why teenagers start to question everything, because they're trying to make connections between what they understand and what other people understand and what the broader world understands about things. So they're much more interested in talking to their friends, listening to their friends. It's almost like they need to say it out loud before they really believe that what they've learned is actually true. So social learning is a big part of the teenage shift, the shift that happens in the early part of high school years. It's also a time when they get very bored with concrete learning. So they get very bored with learning the facts and information. And they need a challenge. They need to be solving problems. They need to be, in science, they need to be doing investigations themselves. They need to be figuring out the answers to questions and gathering the data themselves and looking at the patterns and relationships and drawing conclusions. So I've created a learning system that's systematic, but it's not oppressive like the school system. And it allows some freedoms. It allows students to choose. It allows students to do projects which can take them in different directions. It allows students to work together in online classrooms and collaborate on investigations. It also allows students to discuss ideas and help each other and work together. So what we're offering is science online classrooms for year 7 and year 8. And we're focusing on these middle school years because these are the pivotal years for learning. The things that they learn in Guthrie Online Learning are transferable to their other subjects. So when they learn their problem solving and when they learn to see connections and when they start to develop abstract thinking, this will naturally flow into the other learning areas, and they'll start to see how the learning in one subject is connected to the learning in another subject. So visit our website and join our new approach to teaching science. Have a look at our free online stuff. Contact me if you've got any questions, and we're taking enrolments for Term 2 Science in years 7 and 8.